Was over the back seat. I told her to get her to the hospital because she was in respiratory failure. You wouldn't leave, bitch. You didn't help my granddaughter. You know who I'm talking about. The cops know. It was on video. But they won't touch you for some odd reason. They won't touch him for some odd reason. Either you left with him and Karina and then she was done in, or you took Karina somewhere and you had it done. This is where my granddaughter stood last, Kokomo. Right here. Right here in Kokomo, Indiana. She vanished in a car with a female, Paige Shirley. The police know all this. They will not act. They will not react. They won't do. And it's a shame. It's a total shame.
You're standing at the exact spot, like right over here. Right in front of
Okay, well, we're going to release a balloon for Karina again.
I tied mine up to the bush.
And hopefully it won't go towards the reservoir.
Hopefully it don't land on the car's window.
Or go up in the tree. Alright, but anyway, Karina, this is for you. Grandma remembers you. You have a new baby brother. His name's Raleigh. Raleigh McClurkin. You'll never get to see him, Karina. You have a niece, Caitlin. You'll never get to know. Because some dumbasses had to take you out for no reason. This is for you, baby girl.
I know I said it last night's video, but...
Okay, I'm going to end the video. If you see something, say something. If you know something, say something. Contact KPD.
Oh, wait, the car's going by you. Careful, Gary, the other way. And then go up. Dang it, man.
So I tied mine to the...
It was over the back seat. I told her to get her to the hospital because she was in respiratory failure. You wouldn't leave, bitch. You didn't help my granddaughter. You know who I'm talking about. The cops know. It was on video. But they won't touch you for some odd reason. They won't touch him for some odd reason. Either you left with him and Karina and then she was done in, or you took Karina somewhere and you had it done. This is where my granddaughter stood last, Kokomo. Right here. Right here in Kokomo, Indiana. She vanished in a car with a female, Paige Shirley. The police know all this. They will not act. They will not react. They won't do. And it's a shame. It's a total shame.
You're standing at the exact spot, like right over here. Right in front of
Okay, well,
we're going to release a balloon for Karina again.
I tied mine up to the bush.
And hopefully it won't go towards the reservoir.
hopefully it don't land on the car's window.
Or go up in the tree. Alright, but anyway, Karina, this is for you. Grandma remembers you. You have a new baby brother. His name's Raleigh. Raleigh McClurkin. You'll never get to see him, Karina. You You have a niece, Caitlin Lee, you'll never get to know. Because some dumbasses had to take you out for no reason. This is for you, baby girl.
I know I said it last night's video, but
Okay, I'm gonna end the video. If you see something, say something. If you know something, say something.
It was over the back seat. I told her to get her to the hospital because she was in respiratory failure. You wouldn't leave, bitch. You didn't help my granddaughter. You know who I'm talking about. The cops know. They was on video. But they won't touch you for some odd reason. They won't touch him for some odd reason. Either you left with him and Karina and then she was done in, or you took Karina somewhere and you had it done. This is where my granddaughter stood last, Kokomo. Right here. Right here in Kokomo, Indiana. She vanished in a car with a female, Paige Shirley. The police know all this. They will not act. They will not react. They won't do. And it's a shame. It's a total shame.
you're standing at the exact spot, like right over here. Right in front of you.
Okay, well,
We're going to release a balloon for Karina again.
I tied mine up to the bush.
And hopefully it won't go towards the reservoir
hopefully it don't land on the car's window.
or go up in the tree. All right. But anyway, Karina, this is for you. Grandma remembers you. You have a new...
Every time I watch that video, it hits. And the only thing I can think every time I listen to that video is if they see me, I'm as good as dead. Lauren, I want you to watch tonight's live. October 10th, 2016. That was an FBI informant leaving my girlfriend's house. The informant thing, I didn't go around boasting, look, I'm an informant, look at me, like I see you and your husband doing. The story I'm about to tell you, try having these 6 son of a bitches that went on to do Delphi. The 6 son of a bitches that went on to do Delphi. Their friends, their family, being close friends with the individuals that you, your husband, and other content creators, for the sake of content and money, partnered with individuals like Aspen Connor, who is a meth addict with multiple felonies in multiple states. The individuals like Paige Turley, he's saying, are innocent. I watched that sick bitch promise she was coming to pick her up to take her home. And you heard it from Jerry's own mouth right there. And how she found that out is her and Andrea Jo Glassburn, a longtime Milwaukee member, along with her husband. You'll see Milwaukee Iron. Their true side, the same ones Becky Patty and Mike Patty praise. Destiny Pittman, her case, there's an individual by the name of Jay Shanks. I was a soccer coach for my ex-girlfriend's soccer team for her oldest daughter for 2 years. I was a head coach and then I was an assistant coach at the police athletic league. I put my pride, my issues with corrupt KPD and city and county officials being friends, like attorneys Mark Lehman and Brad Rossi, who were longtime Kokomo residents, longtime friends with Judge Matthew Elkins, other politicians. Both sides is just as bad. The left and the right are making millions off of cartel money. And who is being silenced? You have the troubled community on both sides of the parties, left and right. I'm watching individuals like Lauren and her husband off of Hidden True Crime, the Hulu documentary, the co-producer, Aspen Connor. You had an individual by the name of Linda Miller. She goes by Linda Garlic. Her and her family told me after exposing that she allowed her grandson to even do the actions under her roof on visits. And his AKA Uncle Stan, Stanley Reed, Columbus, Indiana. Her family slut, Stanley Reed. She moved out and moved in with James Sr. and James Jr., aka Clay. She turned her back on her own grandkids to protect predators like Stanley Reed, their families, aka Slut. Sexual exploitation and rape of a minor, more than one, in Columbus, Indiana. I'm going to go into a true story, and it's not just a story. Unlike you guys have been trying to be content creators, what money you can get, what's in it for you, I've been trying to get a voice. After the threats I received in 2020, with details only the killers knew, including what witnesses were there, what they were wearing, what brothers were there, what items they had on. Only the killers are ones helping these killers kill these two children. And if I was to continue talking to law enforcement, the investigation, the FBI, I'll be killed, I'll be slit, tortured, left in puddles like these two Delphi girls. If I was to continue talking to the law enforcement, my cousin, she was going to speak up on the operation as well as a drive-by shooting her ex-boyfriend did. The result? A murder hit, just like the murder hits I've had on me by Tyler Joe French. You'll see Milwaukee Iron, mobile ground shakers throughout this life. You say you are a victim. You're afraid. You're getting stalked. You're getting harassed. I've had this cartel, the dealers like Tyler Joe French, 2018, Ricardo Espinoza, more than one Jamie, many others. Damian Swoke, aka goes by Diamond, Dymo Swoke. Longtime friends of Keegan Klein, Garrett Kurtz. I know things more than anybody. And I was given this information to Michael Curtis, agent with the FBI Indianapolis field office, the same FBI Indianapolis field office that was under the orders by Jay Abbott, the special agent in charge, to cover up years later. Just like you covered up, you helped the locals cover up and hide your mistakes. Michael Curtis knew Jeremy Patterson, his killer, His roommate, Curtis Beck, was forced on me like others. What they don't want you to know is the FBI domestic terrorism active investigation the days leading up were individuals like Brad Holder, Jeff Brackett, multiple, there, locals, Delphi, Logansport, that area's meeting, plan meeting weeks ahead before Delphi, recruiting on the American Patriots 3% that I just happen to be an FBI mole, all the way back to the Bundy Bunch 3 standoffs, federally and state armed standoffs, 3 of them. How about you look up Bruce Dockett getting 38 years? My Baffy files go back years, and I've got hundreds of individuals just like you and your friends, Shane Meehan. They need to look back to the 3 individuals. The first officer, before Greg Ferenczi. Before Greg Ferenczi, there was a murder that happened in an apartment. There was 4 individuals, all involved with American Patriots. The same with Shane Meehan and Brad Holder, Jeff Brackett, and many other American Patriots. They're 3%. And this little sign you're seeing right here is we are the 3%. And that's why I'm calling them out. You are the fucking lowest of the fucking low. When you're helping a cartel drug ring, throwing this around saying, look at me, I'm the 3%. Well, boys and girls, I was the real fucking 3% that took a oath raising my right fucking hand. And it's the right fucking hand that I had a spider bite. That I took an oath to the American people, the American way of life, the Constitution. And right here, these red, white, and blue, these stripes, to the day I die. This flag's earned, never given. You think I'm afraid of you? This isn't try to act tough. This isn't either. The AR, well, it's not even an AR-15. It's actually an M4 collapsible stock with multiple magazines, ready to lock and load when you think you're ready. You've already tried it with my family. You didn't get your intended murder hit victim. But when you have a murder hit, not just on me, my family, but sitting down to my second cousin, underage, just now turned 18, and her toddler son, fuck around and find out. This is to show Linda Miller, the Hulu documentary, the one Aspen Connor, the same cartel drug ring where he gets his drugs. If you look back to his Tippecanoe County, Lafayette visit to Delphi and Lafayette, his lovely mugshot for possession of methamphetamine, driving under the influence of, guess what? His good old crystal meth buddy. He can't go anywhere. He can't do anything. He can't even cover true crime. Just like Greeno, with that lucky, trusty meth pipe in his hand. He's got a toot, toot, toot. Get higher than a kite, and he'll tell you the truth. So help him God. This is Linda Miller, aka Linda Garlic, Aaron Unger, using her boyfriend, Adam Snodgrass. If you look up Aaron Unger out of Frankfort, Indiana, with her daughter, Celeste Sexton, both of their boyfriends at the time, Dustin Mills, Mills, but he goes by Millz, and D. Mills on Facebook. Celeste Sexton, you'll see on Celeste Sexton, what do we find? Garrett Kurtz, Derek German, Blaine McLean. Who else? You've seen Greeno, Ashley Garth, and multiple many, many others. But here she's talking all about the cartel drug ring where her and her family has spent decades in and around. And see, Greeno, more than one of us can do a perfect news broadcaster's voice. I've got my wits about me. I'm pissed off. Because boy, oh boy, do I have something to show you when it comes to Renee, Anthony, Charles Greeno, and a certain threat that his cartel friends and suppliers, along with Aspen Connors, meth. They're good old crystal meth that they love to smoke. If without crystal meth, they cannot do like CJ 24 hours, live streams, marathons. Crystal meth is a hell of a wonderful drug when you're trying to do marathon live streams. Ain't the right, boys? Now, back to the main subject. If I was such a fucking mentally ill retard, then why do I have the one and only Eric Williams? Searcher? Or did he have an alternative motive to be there? He's using his two stepkids on why I should give him everything I know on who, why. But when I confront him and his brother about their friends going back to multiple serial killers, oh, do I have something to say? Do I need to meet you? Do I need to see you face to face? Do I need to put your ass in the dirt? The conversations I had with Eric Williams will make you question, did he have ulterior motives to be out in the dark, no flashlight, searching for the girls, or do he have ulterior motives along with others? That is to be wondered. Just like you have Linda Miller's, they knew an awfully lot that only the killers and ones there helping these two little girls killers, they know awfully a lot. Well, Linda knew items that was taken from the Delphi crime scene. Isn't that right, Linda? Not just what items, but how they were taken. You'll see that later on in this live stream. I'm trying to keep it level line before I lose my shit again. It's about to happen here in this live. This gets dark. I'm trying to keep my head about me right now, so bear with me. This is what so many content creators, for the sake of content and money to be earned, the Kokomo crew, Prof, Criminality, Sleuthy, R&M Productions, Dan, Fiend, Luke, Prof, Adrian, Frank, Marv. I've got every conversation where you're federally tampering with the federal victim, witness, and more than one crime when it is on federal documentation. You're laughing just like Amy with Case by Case, while she's happily helping a foreign terrorist, narco terrorist, that planned and carried out a targeted missing and murdered case. Hmm. Just wow. Wow. And I'm just another Danny Brasco. I need to shut the fuck up. I don't know what I'm talking about. For years, I worked with, how about you scroll back and look back at Ruby Kane, other locals, both sides of the aisle there, I was letting it be known. But having Ashley Garth, the same cartel drug ring that she ran with, she killed for, just like Garrett Kurtz, Nico Washington out of Richmond, when they're friends, I've tried on my family, myself more than once, and continue the threats like Tyler Joe French and the motorcycle clubs that are getting praised by Mike and Becky Patty. Why? Just like the cartel ring that Derek is still hanging around with and still hanging, going to active drug houses. Yes, you heard that right. Blaine McLean's the same way. We're going to keep going on. Just be warned, it's about to get dark. But you see right here, I better get loud. Here, I'll bring that back. Only way to be truly protected is to scream, and I make sure everyone hears you. I tried. Do you realize how many content creators like Criminality, Matt Sullivan saying, I'm a private investigator. See, I got a badge, and oh, I'm not from the United States, but Canada. I'm a private investigator. You can trust me. Give me everything you have. And then going on and making content saying all his digging and hard work, just like Joe Lewis and Robin Boudreaux. They keep saying, look at my hard work, my digging. But it's me, my family, and families like mine. I'm speaking up just not just for myself, but other victims that were targeted, missing, and murdered. I have 4 home that were children, and I have 4 home that were adults. All 8 of these individuals are alive. I didn't rush and make this content. Why? Because all 8 of these lives were targeted, caused, missing and murdered cases. No. Missing? Yes. Did they come home alive? Is the threat still there? Does the threat still remains just as strong as it was the day they went missing? Yes. Did you realize in Karina's case alone was 9? There was 8 others in a 2-year span, including Sierra Daly, her cousin. There was 7 other cases that were documented missing cases there in Kokomo and the surrounding area. Facts. You can look that up. All 8 of those were found within hours of online sharing a post. They were all found within 24 to 48 hours. All but Karina McClurkin. I better go public and big time public. I've been trying. So many content creators like Hidden True Crime, Lauren, and others have chose content and the money they can get. When you have survivors, when you have victims, you have witnesses that have been speaking up, not just, oh, look at me. Look what I can get. Look what's in it for me. I can say this has been my digging, my hard work. Me get the praise. And then, oh, the thousands of subs, the memberships, the money. It's the lucrative money and the content that they can get, they can make. But try being from the inside, and unlike the patties, trying to get a voice, speak out, and the response you get. I want you to read this. I'm not even going to bother trying to do and be all giggly like you hear some of these content creators and their friends going and laughing and giggling throughout a live stream. And it's the same voices, the same laughing, the same giggling, the same carrying on, and then talking about sex and head and everything else in chats. Like, it's some disgusting things going on, both the pro defense and pro uh, state. Like, they're supposed to be there for victims and justice, the right individuals getting behind bars. And some of these chats and what you read in these chats of people saying, "Oh, I turn you on," and like, I've had people from the cartel, from dealers to kingpins, their family, trying to sextort me or thinking oh, they're interested, sent me some titty and ass pictures and trying to act like, oh, being all serious, like, Kate, aka Precascent, did for criminality and the little Discord and Reddit group that they keep trying to pry a witness and victim out of everything that could get them and their families full, complete justice, including the federal justice that so many cases deserve. You just want it for content and the money you can get from that content, the views, the 1,000 more like what? You want another 60, 80, 100,000 more subs? More? 300? How many subs is it worth to you? To take stories like me and my families, Karina's, other victims, their families, that you and your chat and so many others. It's the disgusting part I'm seeing on the pro defense. There's a pro not wanting the guy getting railroaded, like I looked, and you heard right there. Flint Farmer's attorney was Gabriel Ellis's longtime attorney, the same attorney that Karina's grandmother, Jerry McClurkin, Andrea Joe Glassburn, was ping-ponging and going to investigate Gabe Ellis, telling him everything I was saying and everything I was saying what about. That sits in my federal records, and oh yeah, it is fact. He was an FBI informant, and this, that, and the other. So he was telling her all that he wanted her to know. Yes, Paige Shirley picked her up for where I stopped to help her. Yes, took her out to his trailer, but that's when his and her stories change. The true story, he ended up tracking that little girl. 2 weeks into her 18th birthday, she was a child still in my eyes, being trafficked to her death by a KFD city employee. It's pitiful, it's shameful. Then you have individuals like this Tyler Joe French and his aka fiance wife, Jessica Clifton, supposed to be a ICU nurse with community health. I'm scared to God if I ever go to community health and she's my ICU nurse if I go into kidney failure. Knowing who and what I am, she'd rather see me dead than her boyfriend right for killing more than one individual and hiding his cartel drug ring himself. That cartel drug ring killed over 200 missing and murdered cases. 40 of these were children. Many of these were local. This is federally known in my files down to the corruption that was aka on the back burner brewing. The FBI knew all about all the missing information, the video, marathon video that the FBI just so happened to help loose. The Keegan Klein, the same Keegan Klein that was being being a drug mule, going to Vegas for Gabe Ellis and his ring. The ones put in place by the cartel, Gabe Ellis, Joshua Ebeling, which is that Josh Ebeling that is now married to Megan Allen. They were all there doing Delphi together with Kaigan Kalis, Kyle Stacy. They were all running around, parading even the murder weapons just 18 days after the girl's murder with their blood on them. I'm sorry, but it's a little nippy out here, and I had to take my teeth out because my teeth are clattering. I'm hearing my head just like having rocks, and it's my false teeth kind of clatter, 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 clack, 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 clack. Sorry. And then you have Jenny Cream. I want you guys to read this. Same Jenny Cream that was giving Shelley Collins access to carry, along with Jilly Melvin, Linda Miller, Tina Riddell, Robert Lindsay, Tony Hunt, Megan Allen, Josh Ebeling. There's others that were involved with this Schools Rule chat group. Everyone in this chat group was getting access to the crime scene photos when Rick Snay sent them to Julie Melvin. Then you have Julie Melvin going on live streams with content creators, doing everything in their power on both pro-state and pro-defense. Anything she was leaking to them, like crime scene, plus more, getting praised by the defense for what? Cody Patty's biological aunt and her family hiding the millions that their family has made off the cartel, along with other longtime politicians that Julie's real close with. Look at these politicians, their friends and family going back into the cartel. Other good old boy club members like Judge Fouts, Matthew Elkins, and this same Linda Miller that was on the Hulu documentary. She knows Richard Allen's innocent, yes, but she knows a hell of a lot more, just like Aaron Unger. Remember the shoe tree? I'm editing that video. I'm actually not editing. I'm thinking about keeping it unedited from start to finish. She was so scared that I was going to have that audio and video. I told her, I promised her I'd mute the audio out. So anything said, including how to get back to the shoe tree, where it was, the whole tour she gave up, where she lived for years in that area, and her family, like Aaron, Celeste Sexton, 2015, Frankfurt cartel raids. Longtime friends, more than one serial killer, more than one killer. Even Shauna Bradfield, laughing. What about Alan Rock, Monticello, long time cartel dealer? Ooh, I'm going there. Motorcycle club member and long time cartel dealer, Alan Rock, long time girlfriend of Shauna Bradfield. And it's a damn shame because within the troubled community, you have brothers raping sisters. and the kid has nowhere to go. You got the mom threatening a federal witness and living victim. You'll get to that here in a second. We're going to get to that because it gets pretty serious and pretty dark. And the pro state, the one saying that Richard Allen's the only one that killed these girls, you're going to be questioning yourself. This is 2020. And they knew the murder hit the cartel had on my family. Why? Because what the law was asking them and anybody else that knew intel to come forward, come forward, talk to the cops. Just like Garrett Kurtz, Jeremy Patterson's killer, Alan Tinker, he admitted somebody leaked from the drug task force, ranking officers, just like the ranking officers like Captain Summers, Kevin Summers. He's now the IU Kokomo chief of police. If his son was to be hired by Kokomo Police Department, he'd be an automatic ready officer. Look that lawsuit up with Chase Summers because of who and what his dad was. And his dad, just like judges, attorneys like Mark Lehman, who lived and worked in Kokomo for years, what are third parties, friends and family, doing on your friends list? And you're refusing to recuse yourself, even though the cartel, the corruption, the good old boys club, Paul Wyman, others, longtime friends of yours, the FBI knows a hell of a lot more than what you think. And you refusing to recuse yourself for what? Media? Future, if you win this case, the notoriety, the videos, the movies, the media time. What's in it for you? You need to recuse yourself and do what's right for that man in the sake of his case. Federally, it got heard who and what I was, where I was, who came and picked her up, where she went. That was heard by the jury in Karina McClurkin's case. Go look at Frank, Marv. The ones hated me, along with Captain Summers, who was a detective. Before that was Sergeant Bruce Root. Kokomo Police Department, Howard County prosecutors, and the FBI are going to be in a multi-family, more than one victim, living and dead. You have multiple families about to be filing a federal class action lawsuit against the FBI, local and state agencies. Why? What was allowed to happen and leaked information by certain departments back to their family, like Blaine McClellan, Nita Duff, local politicians, prosecutor, their own family, longtime dealing partners like Derek German and others. They're sitting friends with Garrett Kurtz and other more than one killer, Ashley Garth, but nothing to see there. At least I had the balls to go, look, the federal retaliation law is in effect and it's been violated. And the state and locals, when they're leaking information back, letting who rolled on what, why, on who, back to this cartel and the ones in and around it, that's sick. How else would Garrett Kurtz know Nicole Bowen was going to roll on what? On the who? And he admitted, what? He killed her to protect what? Hold on, I dropped my earpiece. I get a beanie in, so I don't know if you've seen what I was wearing. And give me a second if you're hearing cluttering. I don't have my earpiece all the way, my head earbud. So, yeah, it came out and it went per a tumble. So if you heard a bing, bang, and boom, bear with me. I'm getting them back in. I'm trying to. This is where it's going to get hard in this live. So if I'll use my shit again, I'll probably mute myself or just stop talking. But if the FBI and Agent Michael Curtis would act October 11th, when I called him later that day, gave him her number, screenshots of the text message I received. I sent her a text message with my full name. I was the one that helped you last night going into earlier this morning. Did you make it home alive? I didn't say alive, but did you make it home all right? I received a text message and I screenshotted this full message. Yes, I did. Thank you for everything. This is what sits in my federal records for the first year, 1 week in Karina McClurkin's case, along with text messages. Don Whitehead, the Howard County prosecutor, had to confirm who and what I was. I was an informant under the name Baffy, Baffy, for the Joint Terrorism Task Force, Indianapolis Field Office, under my handler, Michael Curtis. The same Michael Curtis that had a domestic terrorism investigation active in Delphi, Logansport. The 2 days, 1 night, bug out. American Patriots militia training event with a hog roast. There was enough online communications, recruiting that warranted a in-person, multiple agents, state and local, that were involved with the JTTF. This is why Jerry Holman freaked out when he seen. How did the defense get that? It wasn't just me. My work product, my hard copies. I came forward to the defense, just like I came forward and let it be known with solid evidence down to my witness testimony when it came to Kokomo Police Department. After 1 year, 1 week, October 17th, I was given permission. I went in. The 18th, I believe, to talk to Kokomo Police Department. Followed up with a 2018 video. I got tired of being called a liar. I'm making this up. I was never who and what I was. Ask Don Whitehead. He confirmed who and what I was. Just like Todd Click confirmed who and what I was, and I worked with him and Greg Ferenczi. I felt Greg Ferenczi was a warning shot, saying they will kill anybody, including me, an agent that was working with me, Greg Ferenczi. I feel that was a warning shot to shut my fucking mouth, or else. If they can do it to him, not afraid to do it, then the militia and their friends, you think, will be afraid, along with the cartel help, to do it to me, my family? And this is to show who and what I was during the time of Delphi. Jeff Brackett, the militia we were talking about. We'll get to Jeff Brackett later on. Just want you guys to keep this in mind. And then individuals like Tyler Joe French, Kokomo Cartel Raids 2018, Cartel Dealer, Tyler Joe French, the same Tyler Joe French involved with Karina McClurkin, Delphi, Chicago, Daryl Farrell. If I was to keep running my mouth, if I keep running my gums, I'll be the next one to vanish. I want you to keep in mind Chicago, Terrence Finn. We'll get to Terrence Finn and others here shortly. But he's from Chicago, just like Daryl. And like I said, I was told to go talk to Kokomo PD. If that agent, just like Larry Nasser, that case, there were suspects known to him and the FBI. He refused to act, allowed Gabriel Ellis and other suspects, just like Curtis Beck, to go on to kill Jeremy Patterson. He helped his roommate, Alan Tinker, kill Jeremy Patterson. If they would have acted in Karina McClurkin's case back in October 11, 2016, when the evidence and proof where I got from even both sides of her family, when Sierra Daly went missing and she was being exploited, sexual exploitation, child porn, everything, I let that be known to my handler. And the FBI, there was child exploitation going on by the same individual that sexually exploited Karina McClurkin to a firefighter and others like Alan Tinker, Blaine Nelson, and the other ones became blood brothers for what they did to Karina McClurkin up to her death. You have Blaine Nelson actually admitting that yes, he was there. He had no control in anything, but oh, he was just there. He had no hand in it, but he was just there. And yes, in Gabriel Ellis's daughter's apartment on October 11th, 2016, the same apartment, same bathroom, that Marlena Smith said there was a hole with blood in it and hair when she asked, while giving a tour by Gabriel Ellis and others, she said she was called to come get her glasses and cell phone. The same cell phone she would call and let it be known to Jerry McClurkin, James McClurkin, and their family that Karina's missing. They waited 2 days after letting each other know, and in the same 48 hours, you had Sierra Daly and her family letting even their boyfriends know Karina was not just missing, she was dead. There was a boyfriend that responded back on social media on an open post. I can't believe she's dead. I cried when I heard the first 48 hours this girl was missing. This is what I was seeing, and this is what I was documenting, letting it be known to the FBI. She was trafficked by Gabe Ellis leading up to her death, which is a federal violation. They had more than enough reason to already act on Gabe Ellis and the ones around him in that cartel drug ring that they waited till 2018 and even longer, barely hitting it, but letting them go on to commit other crimes against more children. Remember, I warned you, it's about to get dark. I was let go because he told me to go talk to the locals, and for going to talk to the locals, later on, right at the start of 2019, I was let go as an FBI informant, losing all my protections, all but my witness and victim rights. He allowed me to become a victim, allowed my face to be beaten by a lead pipe that I still need skull, facial, orbital, and jaw reconstruction, plates and screws. I've been putting off till I get the time where I'm able to stake that stand, not just for me, But my family, on what the other families missing and murdered, the FBI allowed to happen just like they allowed 2016 and 2018. Florida, two known failed investigations, known suspects by the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force, and they allowed both the school shooting and the nightclub shooting to happen. The same time frame you have FBI up here allowing and covering up for Larry Nassar in his cases. Hundreds of kids. So keep that in mind. You think they are there to get justice for 404 when they actively had to get taken to DC, and their active special agent in charge, Jay Abbott, gave orders to cover up, delete, hide evidence, just like you're hearing in Delphi. The state and locals were all covering, not just for themselves, for the FBI, just like the FBI was actually deleting, hiding evidence leading back to the lies and mistakes and misconduct, allowing hundreds of victims by Larry Nassar. Don't believe me? Look that up yourselves. And you think I'm delusional, Aspen Connor? You think I'm nuts? You remember how they keep talking about it was a spiritual, like, you have Aaron Unger talking about rituals and stuff going on in her dungeon room, is what she calls it, where the girls take it back to Aaron Unger's in her dungeon room, where a spiritual ritual, like she says, that she does in her house. Her own words, not mine. Were they taken back and murdered at Aaron Unger's, aka dungeon room, where she has more than one? I'm just gonna let you guys read these. Just keeping it real. You don't know me or the people I know. I'm a bad bitch. Just remember, they came with army, tanks. Don't forget that. Laugh out loud. Remind me, this is 72 hours. December 15th, there was a failed murder hit that went on my second cousin. The TikTok started. The same cartel, Aaron Unger, Linda Miller. The same Hulu documentary, Linda Miller. The same cartel, Aspen Connor, gets his drugs from. This is telling me if I was to keep talking, end up slit, tortured, left in puddles, just like those two Delphi girls. Two days, 6 hours, and 42 minutes. This is Linda Miller after she tells me who Adam Snodgrass is. Then she started coming back like, oh, do I know who an Adam Snodgrass is? Do you realize she tried doing this with other content creators? After I already asked her, Who's Adam Snodgrass? Oh, that's my one of my girls and my granddaughter's mom's boyfriend. She still considers Aaron Unger one of her daughters. It was an ex daughter in law that James Sawyer, the incest inbred James Sawyer Jr.'s, uh, married in like aunt at one point. It's an inbred incest fucking family. You get the idea. I feel sorry for some of these fucking kids that are victims by their own brother and cousin's hands because this is who they have for family to get them justice that will refuse to do it when they're involved with and no details of how little kids were murdered. I feel sorry for these kids in getting justice, let alone honestly feeling safe. And I can't wait till the day they became adults and they can get away from this fucking hell. And I hope to God they look at the raids and everything that happened while they were kids. That's another thing, Lauren. A lot of you forget Michaela Babcock. One of her longtime friends was Garrett Kurtz. Those are the likes that were coming around her house, which is an active drug trap house, the same drug trap house that Liberty German had a slumber party with, a just gotten raided in a active drug house facing felony drug charges. Michaela Babcock. These are the types that was allowed around Liberty German, Derek, and Michaela and the family that were dealing and getting supplied by the likes of Gabe Ellis. Those are the likes they were allowing around their children. And I want you to keep this in mind right here. The cartel, they will fuck and kill your kids, man. If you are in too deep, too in debt, or talking. And keep in mind what these content creators you'll see at the end of here. My PTSD, my traumatic brain injury I got while I was in active service, wasn't in war. Keep that in mind. I never bragged about saying, "Oh, I got a TBI and it was at wartime." No, I was at active duty, caught up to active duty, had orders. I was under those orders when I sustained my head getting beat into a brick wall, into a cement floor, and beaten in and out of consciousness, waking up to getting beat, and come to find out I was the wrong individual the civilian wanted to beat. Had a grudge and wanted to get at somebody in a barracks, and oh, wrong person. So misidentify me, beat the fucking brakes off me, brain swelling, traumatic brain injury, fucking where my seizures really started coming from. Yeah, it was fucking not fun. But my TBI and my PTSD from when I was a child, that then getting beat in and out of consciousness, knowing my head's beating against first the wall, then somehow waking up on the ground, my head's getting beat in and out of the ground, cement. And I'm in and out of consciousness, and then waking up hours later, like, what the fuck happened? They refused to send me to the hospital, and the MPs already and medics already left. The location where I was refused medical help and refused me to go to the hospital. It wasn't until 48 hours later family was allowed to take me when I was taken off those orders and dropped off at home. Told what happened and sorry, two sergeants, a staff sergeant turned into uh master sergeant, not master, yeah, sergeant first class and a first sergeant covered up what they sent me to do, and it was a favor for them. So it's kind of hard trusting people. And I've been trusting content creators. Oh, we're here for justice, we're here for victims. And keep in mind what I was told. And they knew details only the killers knew. I have two dates, not including the attacks on me. I've got 12/11/2016. No, I mean 10/11. So October 11th, 2016, and then 12/23/2020. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to let you read this right here. Was hired to commit the murder. Prosecution alleged that Ben intended to kill Pearson's girlfriend that night. Who was the intended murder hit victim. Pearson opened the bedroom door after they heard glass and people breaking in. Upon opening the door, he was shot both in his front and back when he was going away from these hired hitmen. And this is one of the first hired hits, murder hits, that was successfully carried out. They tried on me. Then shortly after, they did threats from the 15th all the way up to the 21st. Threats to me that they're going to kill me and my family if I keep talking, if they keep talking. And what did they do? And you have ones like Lauren, Aspen Connor, and others saying, oh my God, I'm a victim. And they're stalking each other. They're harassing each other. Content creators are doing that. And it's for content, to make money off it, to get one side to hate the other. It's just as bad as the left hating the right. And you're bringing politics into true crime, missing and murdered children, victims. It's not the left and right. It's not the pro defense and pro state. It's the up and down. It's what the up doesn't want the down to know, doesn't want the masses to know. Knowing that they work together in unison. Sorry, it's getting a little chilly. And yes, this is one of the first targeted and carried out murders on documentation of Operation Law and Order that happened in 2018. This is carried out by the same cartel and the same operation that killed within my family and have tried more than once on me, and the threats that I keep receiving. This is just content, and what content creators like Hidden True Crime, Lauren, Aspen Connor, Sunny, Matt Sullivan, The Prof, Criminality, R&M. It's just content for them and their friends and money to be made when it's victims like me and my family that are living and breathing the hell from this cartel and its terrorist actions for a foreign terrorist organization. Then you have content creators and followers, the ones in chats that are active, just like Tyler. He's in chats right now. You have the prof welcoming Tyler French. He's welcome on his page and in his chat anytime. You have Alexander Zabel Jr., a long time self promoting and self admitting his longtime gang that he's a veterano, and his labels and his friends have been praising about the sex, gun trafficking, the murders, the cartel. I want you guys to know it was more than just who and what I was federally. Todd Click backing me up. I was a federal informant. There's individuals like Brad Holder, known suspects, more than one missing and murder case that were allowed to go on, just like Gabriel Ellis and others. And this sits federally on my record. Investigations that my informant files had the domestic terrorism task force, state and locals involved already on a domestic terrorist investigation there in Delphi the days prior. And you wonder why they hit Ron Logan and his property so fast. It would help when you had agents and other agencies surrounding his location the days leading up, knowing who and what, how many, their plates, the vehicles, make and model. Ooh, all that the FBI knows. But you remember hunting testicles, true crime, criminality having Greeno, Renee Anthony Greeno on with CJ, Mar R, Ange, Moth, R&M, Luke. Remember my PTSD, my TBI is a laughing matter. You guys are saying you are for victims, you are for witnesses, you're for justice, but yet I'm speaking up as a local. Me and my family have been targeted for years. The threats keep coming. Then it's the ones that you praise in your chat, your private groups, your chats, giving information like Shelley Collins going and meeting with Ellis Fields, George Stanley, while running two Delphi Facebook groups belonging to Julie Melvin's, Tina Riddell, Megan Allen was even in Girls Rule, just like Linda Miller. The same Linda Miller wants me, a child rape victim, to go get raped for exposing her grandson. I could go get raped. You know, you liked it. It is a laughing matter to you. And you had Jenny Kroom, the same one, that was helping Shelley Collins, Elvis Fields, Megan, her own aka daughter, Brittany Mossholder, the Mossholders, even in the 2018 cartel raids. Me and my family chose to speak up, unlike you and yours. You chose to protect that drug ring, the millions, the drugs, to hide the fact of who and what your family has been about for decades. I want you guys to look the date and time, December 2017. I was still an active FBI informant turned federal witness, and individuals that are sitting in my FBI informant files on Karina McClurkin's trafficking and murder case The FBI allowed other victims, other missing and murdered cases by the same suspects, just like they allowed in Jeffrey Epstein. They knew victims then. They sat on it. Remember how it's a hot topic? What about Larry Nassar, where the FBI is actually proven by the DOJ, OIG, Office of the Inspector General, the Senate and Congressional Investigative Committees, where you had the FBI, the same FBI that was over me as an FBI informant, I entrusted. They only acted on Deputy Pickett, Officer Pitts. That's where I was trying to go at earlier. There was an earlier murder of another officer, Officer Pitts, out of Terre Haute, Indiana. The three federal suspects, there was a fourth. The one I was on the phone with as an FBI informant, I was getting texts to and from where they were at. They're on their way. The calls that was recorded on their way down to Terre Haute from Boone County. I had Officer Pitts and Deputy Pickett, Boone County. The same militia where you had Deputy, not Deputy, but Deputy Pickett, his murder in Boone County, where his sheriff is friends, just like Tony Slocum, with multiple militia members like Jeff Brackett, Brad Holder. Tony Slocum was friends with now a individual that was a deputy, Corey Balthello, longtime American Patriot member out of Pennsylvania, sitting life behind bars. Why? For child exploitation, rape of his own family for 7 years, while being longtime friends over 2 decades of, close to 2 decades with individuals like Tony Slocum. And all this sits in my files. The domestic terrorism investigation, the days leading up Delphi. And I want you to keep in mind, this is 2020. Years before Allen was arrested, years before these details, like witnesses, who the witnesses were, not just what they were wearing, what brothers, by name, then items they had on. Like they were helping, keeping watch on who was coming and knowing who was going and coming by name. JP, being a Delphi local, knowing all these people. Him and Aaron Unger, the same ones threatening, if I was to keep talking, I'll be killed, just like the Delphi girls. See, they even knew the girls were sacrificed years before that came, before known. They knew details only the killers and law enforcement knew. They knew items down to who by name, what witnesses would later come forward. This is years before it was public, and all in threats. If I was to keep talking to law enforcement, or if I was to bring this up to law enforcement, they would what? Hunt me down and kill me themselves. The cartel will kill me and my family. And within 72 hours, my little second cousin was nearly gunned down. Her boyfriend was. He was shot in the back as he was going to protect her by these fucking inbred cowards. For their drug operation, they sought revenge, retaliation for anybody that would wrong them in their operation. That's why they killed Delphi, Flora, Logansport, Jeremy Patterson, Tara Capps. It's sad when Thomas Brown, when I'm working with Maricopa County and the Arizona FBI, which unlike Indianapolis, they're looking, they're listening. There's so many families, over 200 cases missing and murdered. Over 40 of these are children. There is a murder hit on a toddler third cousin of mine as it sits right now by the same cartel operation that wants me and down to this toddler second cousin dead. For why? For seeking justice, for doing the right thing. For aka snitching. You are as good as dead to this cartel and the good old boys club that's making millions. Look up the date and time when I'm talking to Matt Hoffman. These are about to come out in full. Every text, every recorded call, every email, the full Dropbox. What he knew. I came forward just like I did in my files. What is in my files was heard by the jury in Karina McClurkin's case. There was others involved that caused her missing and murdered case. And when you had both sides of her family admitting, even on recorded jail calls with Jerry McClurkin and Gabriel Ellis, Andrew Joe Glassburn, and Jerry were ping-ponging. Look up, anybody ask, Halo, HALO Investigations was helping with flyers digitally as well as a free PI on Karina McClurkin's case. They left her case wasn't because of me, what I was saying. It's the same truth that came up in court. When I have Frank, Marv, Bossy, they're called that are pro-state, so pro-state when the truth came out at court that's sitting in my FBI files, down to the FBI files, the FBI refused to act and even allowed me to become a victim in more than one missing and murdered case. It makes me sick. And I'm not the only one. They allowed this murder hit to go through with my family. And here's Shelley Collins, longtime Girls Rule member, along with many of the names you're seeing right here. And oh, Amy Tudor, the same Amy you'll see in Prop and others. Catherine, we'll get to her if we haven't already. Keep an eye on every single one of these names. All the ones groups they go back to, they were given Elvis Fields, Megan, Tina Riddell, Gabe Ellis, Ashley Garth. Still to this day, anything and everything they need to get out of cases, more than one, to walk free. And they say they're here for justice, for victims. Look at them and their friends and content creators that are giving them a platform and praising them in chats. And like I said, keep that in mind. They will kill you and your family. And within what? What happened? The same one telling me I'll be killed just like Delphi? Celeste Sexton? Erica Sickles, I'll get to her. Jamie Beasley? The Babcocks? Rules rule. Jody Lone Posley. Oh yeah, look up James Posley. And how many cartel dealers back to Kokomo show up with one of the prosecutor office in Allen County? The prosecutors, the attorneys, friends with cartel kingpins and dealers, 2018 raids and other raids. But you remember, like I was saying, these content creators that are saying they're here for victims, they're for justice. My PTSD that I got from being raped and molested while I was a child is a laughing matter to them. I go from begging for help to begging a so called professional. Remember on Victim News Online, Erica Morse and Christine Salazar, they were sitting on Criminality's Live and on panels saying my mentally ill ass, my PTSD makes me mentally ill. I need to go take my meds. All the while, I had more than one reason to speak up on Rick's case, and I knew what and who sits in my files. It's a laughing matter to you. Ha, ha, ha. It's more content, laughs, and a good times by all. Remember, I'm just a mentally ill fucking retard. And Lauren, Miss, I'm not fucking McLoving it. This is what really it looks like when you have even cartel for looking to get justice for more than one child, more than one missing and murdered case, over 200 cases missing and murdered from Indiana alone, 300 plus out of 12 different states. When you have the new serial killer of two missing high school kids out of Maricopa, Arizona, Thomas Brown, dozens of his family and friends, out of 640 friends, dozens come back to Indiana. They go back to the same missing and murdered cases. And this didn't age well, did it, Greeno? Lauren knows Greeno all too well, don't you? And like I said, this has been a laughing matter. And like I said, Anthony, this didn't age too well, now did it, little boy? Go be get fucked in the ass. Little boy style now, y'all. Did this. Yes, I'm trying to keep cool. I don't know how it feels. My family doesn't know how it feels. Well, we know how it feels to have content creators that say they're here for victims and justice, laughing about even my PTSD that I got as a child. It's a laughing matter. It's all for content and good times and money to be had. Remember, I can go get fucking killed. Remember, a lot of people are already talking about it. Yeah, your cartel friends that you and Aspen was getting your drugs still to this day when you're in town. Remember having Greeno up, criminality, and then CJ, you're even on his panels there. Remember, it's just laughing fucking matter now, isn't it? This is what they do for content and money and a good time, and to get thousands more subscribers claiming they're for victims, they're for justice. But if you're a victim and you're a local and you're speaking out, not just for clicks and views and money and what's in it for you, I swore a hand. I raised my right hand. I swore an oath to my nation, my people, not for what was in it for me. What can I make? Not for the paycheck, but that oath to my nation, my people, against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. But then to have those same foreign domestic terrorists taking lives, threatening to take mine, and acting on mine and my family's life, but then to have content creators that are claiming they are there solely for the case of missing and murdered, for victims and for justice. I go from begging for help to begging a so-called private investigator that's partners with Erica Morse that runs for Victim News online, saying they're all about victims. You got one of your own fucking killed, didn't you, bitch? terra caps. There's a whole lot more to her case. And Erica, Christine, I don't know how fucking deadly and how scary this fucking group is. Try me. Me and my family. This has never been a laughing matter like criminality. Mar R, Luke, Nichols, R&M Productions. They all claim they're there for justice and they're for victims. Wait till you see all the lives, the chats in full, having a good old time. You remember my PTSD? I'm just a fucking mentally ill retard. I have no clue anything or nothing. I have no clue what the fuck I'm talking about. It's a laughing matter to what happened to and is still happening to me and my family. It's not a laughing matter, and we're not sitting back here laughing. All for you guys to have fucking laughs and a good time. Is it fucking worth it? Was it all worth the fucking 1,000 subscribers? Just stream time and look at me. I'm a victim now when you're stalking and harassing each other. Try having it done in real life. The missing and murdered coming in your own family's life. And I'm not crying because I'm fucking scared. I'm just fucking crying because I'm fucking sick and fucking tired of being harassed and having you and your friends stalking and prying, sending Kate and others sending titty and ass pictures. Oh, that's all about to come out. Just to pry information where you can go rush and make content and make money. While having laughs and good times and giggles all throughout your fucking live streams, even on Delphi. You guys are all living in laughing and haha giggles. Not one of us thinks it's fucking funny. And the whole time I'm getting fucking laughed at, I'm hearing, if they see me as good as dead, it's a laughing fucking good time, isn't it? You said you're there for victims. This whole time I've been trying to shine a light. I'm not giving up this fight. I'm only beginning. This whole time I've tried standing up. But you guys doing it for content and money and a good time. And doing it to each other, saying, oh, you're a victim. Pitying me. Pay me thousands more. Give me more thousands more subs. Try being a victim and witness from inside trying to speak up and them knowing you dead.
Was over the back seat. I told her to get her to the hospital because she was in respiratory failure. You wouldn't leave, bitch. You didn't help my granddaughter. You know who I'm talking about. The cops know. It was on video. But they won't touch you for some odd reason. They won't touch him for some odd reason. Either you left with him and Karina, and then she was done in, or you took Karina somewhere and you had it done. This is where my granddaughter stood last, Kokomo. Right here. Right here in Kokomo, Indiana. She vanished in a car with a female, Kate Shirley. The police know all this. They will not act. They will not react. They won't do. And it's a shame. It's a total shame.
You're standing at the exact spot, like right over here. Right in front of you.
Okay, well,
We're going to release a balloon for Karina again.
I tied mine up to the bush.
And hopefully it won't go towards the reservoir
Hopefully it don't land on the car's window.
or go up in the tree. All right. But anyway, Karina, this is for you. Grandma remembers you. You have a new baby brother. His name-
But just a laughing matter. And I want you to keep in mind one thing I kept hearing Karina McClurkin say. If they see me, I'm as good as dead. And she wasn't talking about Flint Farmer. They found her at Flint. She ran. This is her exact words and what's sitting federally known to Michael Curtis, the same Michael Curtis that was one of the first agents involved. Why? Because him and the FBI was on a domestic terrorism investigation involving Brad Holder and other suspects that were sitting in my Baffy files for years. I'm going to let this play a couple more times, but I've been trying to shine the light in the right direction. But there's been too many content creators for the sake of views, for clicks, for laughs and giggles throughout even the Delphi coverage. How many lives have you been hearing like profs talking about sex and, oh, giving this person head and Shibby gives the best head throughout chats? Tony Hunt, Girls World member, Robert Lindsay, Mark Macaluso. Look his up. His felony dealing and drug possessions like his cocaine. Mark Macaluso, one of the big subscribers and members and money makers for Croft. Just like Jake Brooks. They're Kokomo locals like Michael Myers. Alexander Zabel Jr. All cartel members for decades.
was over the back seat. I told her to get her to the hospital because she was in respiratory failure.
And she's talking about Paige Stiller taking Gabe Ellis, and this is on federal record, out to Gabe Ellis's trailer. And this is Gabe's story that he gave her and Andrea Joe Glassburn multiple times, multiple visits. And this is why Halo Investigation. She gave him everything he needed and that cartel needed to walk freely out of her case. I'm not the reason justice is not served in her case. Just like Delphi is never served until all the others are locked up for life.
It was over the back seat. I told her to get her to the hospital because she was in respiratory failure. You wouldn't leave, bitch. You didn't help my granddaughter.
And I just want to say this. Me and my family doesn't know what it feels like, Jerry. We know all too well what that fucking pain feels like and what it feels like to be hunted by these sick son of a bitches. I was hunted that night while being her protector where she needed somebody the most. She was crying. I gave her a shoulder to cry on. Arms around her, kept that girl warm, protected with my life. Up to and including my life, the same oath I gave to my nation, my people. To me, she was just another person I took under my wings, just like the song Citizen Soldier. Sorry, I'm trying not to break down. 3 Doors Down, Citizen Soldier. Look that up. I took that little girl under my wings. And you're hearing it from Jerry McClurkin herself.
It was over the back seat. I told her to get her to the hospital because she was in respiratory failure. You wouldn't leave, bitch. You didn't help my granddaughter. You know who I'm talking about. The cops know. It was on video. But they won't touch you.
Just like the cops knew in Delphi, Florida, and they still refuse to do anything. If this doesn't touch you hearing it, the truth, just like the jury heard, and Marv, Frank, that true crime cult, attacking me like Captain Bruce Rood, when it's on federal record with Don Whitehead, who and federally what I was, and the FBI allowed me to become a victim and then my family to go through a murder. Targeted and planned murdered. The state and locals leaked the information back to this cartel ring like they did Garrett Kurtz. How do you think Nico Washington killed the two informants up in Richmond? Just like there, the other areas of operation, they leaked the information from the within down to their friends and family, just like politicians like Blaine McClellan. How do you think he knew? Nita Duff, her son William Duff, stealing out of her house. That's what they don't want you to know.
It was over the back seat. I told her to get her to the hospital because she was in respiratory failure. You wouldn't leave, bitch.
But you remember Aspen Connor, co-producer on the Hulu documentary? Remember Paige Turley is innocent? She's an innocent victim I keep stalking and harassing. Who's got the what? Protective order as an active federal witness and living federal victim. And Hulu still decided to have you as this co-producer.
It was over the back seat. I told her to get...
And it's just weird. The same dealers that you're getting supplied when you're coming to Delphi and catching charges to, you're letting dealers like Aaron Unger threats to kill me like Delphi if I keep talking to you, even getting those two little girls justice. Now, Lauren, this is what stalking harassment really looks at like, and this is what happens in real life, honey. Grow up here, you McFucking clown.
It was over the back seat. I told her to get her to the hospital because she was in respiratory failure. You wouldn't leave, bitch. You didn't help my granddaughter. You know who I'm talking about. The cops know. It was on video. But they won't touch you for some reason.
Just like the cops knew and refused to do anything and allowed the murder hit to go on. Just like the Cartel 2018 raids. There was more murder hits. I was one of those murder-intended victims on federal record. The state and locals knew that going even into Karina McClurkin's case. When it came to trial, they allowed Flint Farmer to sit 2.5 years in solitary confinement. And you guys are lost your minds over 13 months? Try 2.5 years in solitary confinement for a case you did not do. And Jerry McClurkin is right here saying she left your house alive. She was picked up after I stopped and helped and waited with her for hours and taken to Gabriel Ellis's trailer. They then took her to his daughter's apartment where a firefighter was the last John to pay and end up killing Karina McClurkin by choking her to death. And that sits on audio recording of Marlena and mine meeting. She had dozens of Milwaukee Iron and Melville Groundshaker members like Ricky Bubby Lewis to her left, and then Brewster Fitz to her right, when she told me everything about getting contacted down to her. She was the one that got her picked up and dropped off at Gabe Ellis's daughter's apartment. She ran from there. They found her at Flint's. She went running again, and luckily Paige was the one that got the call to come pick her up. Contacting you, oh, do it. Take her back to Gabe. He's at his trailer where you took her.
It was over the back seat. I told her to get her to the hospital because she was in respiratory failure. You wouldn't leave, bitch. You didn't help my granddaughter. You know who I'm talking about. The cops know. It was on video. But they won't touch you for some odd reason. They won't touch him for some odd reason. Either you left with him and Karina and then she was done in, or you took Karina somewhere and you had it done. This is where my granddaughter stood last, Kokomo. Right here. Right here in Kokomo, Indiana. She vanished in a car with a female, Paige Shirley. The police know all this. They will not act They will not react. They won't do. And it's a shame. It's a total shame.
You're sitting at the exact spot, like right over here. Right in front of you.
Okay, well,
We're going to release a balloon for Greeno again.
I tied mine up to the bush.
And hopefully it won't go towards the reservoir
hopefully it don't land on the car's window.
or go up in the tree. All right. But anyway, Greeno, this is for you. Grandma remembers you. You have a new baby brother. His name's Raleigh McClurkin. You'll never get to see him, Greeno. You have a niece, Caitlin Lee. You'll never get to know. Because some dumbasses had to take you out for no reason. This is for you, baby girl.
I know I said it last night's video, but
Okay, I'm gonna end the video. If you see something, say something. If you know something, say something. Contact KPD.
Oh, wait, the cars go by you. Careful, Gary, the other way. It didn't go up. Dang it, man.
so I tied mine to the tree.
Creator McClurkin. 1, 2, 3. Forever and always. I'll be fighting for you. And the other victims. I've only tried to get a voice for the victims, by the victims, but content creators for good laughs, giggles, to share the crime scene, like Shaboogies, Criminality and their friends, going, oh my God, if you haven't seen the crime scene photos, get a hold of me and I'll be glad to share those with you. The screenshots in the chats where they're giving it away like candy, like it's a commodity, of a little girl naked, 2 little girls savagely killed, and doing exactly what Linda Miller, Aaron Unger, the cartel wants you to see their work. 2 little kids being savagely killed, just like Sharman Pearson, shot in the back. They want you to see their work. They want millions to see their work, just like the Manson cult. And you're giving them everything they want. Just for a few more clicks, a few more money donations, and look at me and a little bit more internet time. And then you're attacking me as a group, saying my PTSD, I'm mentally ill, I'm a mental retard, while you're sitting there all claiming you're for victims, you're for justice, while you're laughing and sharing the crime scene of 2 little kids. How many other victims you're doing that with? I know Lanny's real good about it. Then attacking victims, their witnesses, and their families for laughs, clicks, and good time and money to be had. More thousands of subscribers to be had. The money, money, money. It's all about the content and the money. It's not what the real hell, real people go through, especially locals. The same locals you're begging to come forward with everything you know. Why you're like Shelley Collins, Linda Miller, Tina Riddell can get it back to the cartel and their friends and family like Aaron. Just like Case by Case and Amy. Making sure everything she gets goes back to her one of her moderators. Ashley Garth's dad, the same dad that was lying anhydrous ammonia, and he was covering it as a lead manager where Derek Sherman, Blaine McClellan, was stealing their ammonia for just like Gabe Ellis. And you wonder why they were only going to where he was the manager at. Everything you're getting is going back for the wrong reasons. And the same ones that are attacking me and my family for laughs and content and money and good times, it's all for good money and good laugh for them. Keep filling their bank account. Remember, it's just for the sake of justice and for victims But yet, if you're a victim, if you're a local that's going through this hell still to this day, the living and breathing hell that's taken lives within your family, you're just another mental retard. You're getting in their way. Oh, you're going to affect my money. Oh, we need to silence you in your page. Don't bother going over there. He's just fucking out of his mind. Just like the cartel's been doing for me to years. Just like my family, trying to make me and them sound like we're retarded for speaking up and speaking out, saying the truth. And it's content creators like you helping Elvis Fields and others like Megan escape justice. And you're saying, oh my God, we're here for victims and justice. It's all about the content and the money. Even Lauren, you guys are clowns and you make me sick.